turning to the other top story in politics today, there are new developments tied to one of the multiple legal cases facing the presumptive Republican nominee, that being, of course, Donald Trump. Today, a judge dismissed several counts in the sweeping Georgia election interference case facing Donald Trump. The judge, Scott McAfee, ruled that the charges brought by the Fulton County District Attorney lacked specific detail. That's the same judge who was considering whether or not to throw out Fani Willis off the case entirely over a private romantic relationship she had with a top prosecutor. His ruling is expected any day now. Meanwhile, the DA's office now has to decide if they're going to refile these charges. Among the counts dismissed, one related to Donald Trump's infamous phone call to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger in January of 2021. In that phone call, then President Trump pressured Raffensperger to, quote, find enough votes to overturn the election results. Even with today's developments, the former president is still facing a record 88 criminal counts across 4 criminal cases. Darryl Cohen is with us now. He's a former assistant district attorney in Fulton County. Thank you so much for being here.
Good to be here. Thank you so much.
So
what you thinking?
Yes. So there's a lot to talk about. Why did the judge dismiss these specific charges? And do you think prosecutors will refile them?
I think it's a definite maybe that they may refile them. Judge McAfee is very measured. He's very bright. He has looked and listens to both sides. And in his view, there wasn't specific enough in these counts that he dismissed. Now, the fact that he dismissed them doesn't mean a lot in itself, because the DA's office still has the ability to go back to a grand jury, redo the various terms that they weren't specific enough, and come back and say, grand jurors, please return an indictment. And quite frankly, the grand jury, if it's brought back to them, would obviously re-indict or indict again, because we used to say, both when I was in the state attorney's office in Miami and DA's office in Atlanta, a grand jury would indict a ham sandwich, except maybe in Miami it'd be a corned beef sandwich. Either way, they would indict anyone that the DA's office, or in that case in Miami, the state attorney's office, brought them. So that in itself doesn't bother me, doesn't concern me. But even if they don't re-indict, the president, the ex-president, and all the people charged are still facing numerous charges against them, and that should not make much of a difference, except perhaps to the potential jurors who may say, wait a minute, is this really criminal, or is this political, or is this both? And why did the judge dismiss it? And why are we here? They may not have any difference at all. It just is we're gonna have to wait and see. This case has taken on a life of its own, and it will continue to take on a life of its own, regardless of what Judge McAfee does regarding finding Willis and Nathan Wade.
It definitely has taken on a life of its own, and you bring up key questions that a juror might ask. Now, I want to read to you part of what the judge wrote when he ruled. He said, as written, these 6 counts contain all the essential elements of the crimes, but failed to allege sufficient detail regarding the nature of their commission. They do not give the defendants enough information to prepare their defenses intelligently. So with that in mind, with the judge's own words in mind, what additional details do you think prosecutors need to provide if they want to refile this case?
I think they need to reach into their bag of detail, and they need to provide small details that show that former President Trump and the other people indicted actually committed a crime in this instance, not just the allegation that they did, but giving a little more specific, I'll never pronounce that word, being a little more specific in regard to what they are charging him with doing or not doing.
Yeah. I also want to ask you, does this decision give us any insight into whether the judge might disqualify the DA from this case?
I wish it did. I think Judge McAfee, whatever he does, will be measured. He will bring out whatever he believes to be the right thing to do, and more importantly, follow the law. He's been incredible. If you've watched him in these various hearings, he has been so measured and so fair that whatever he does will both surprise me and not surprise me, but will not surprise me that he will do what he believes the law says he should do and what he should do.
Well, thank you so much.
Fair and balanced. Excuse me, Fox, but fair and balanced.
Well, thank you so much for providing all that insight, Darryl Cohen.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.